HB family, what's happening? My name is Bobby O'Neill. I'm the pitching guy here with Headbangers Sports, and in today's video we're going to be analyzing 10 different MLB pitchers and how they use their lower half to keep stress off their elbow. So the main premise of today's video is to teach you how to have a better and more stable lower half so that you can properly and adequately transfer energy from your back leg into your front leg, while also learning how to sequence your lower half to help create a more fluid and whippy arm path so that we can take stress off your elbow. Let's dive right in. So you can see from the beginning of this video that every single one of these pitchers has a stable and secure lower half in their back leg while they're going into peak leg lift. So as their leg is moving up into this position, their back leg stays secure, and every single one of them finds that top point before they start shifting their body forward and beginning to move down the mound. But once they begin to move down the mound, you can see how their leg is traveling back down towards the ground and they are staying narrow with their feet. So even though the body is moving, their feet are still staying close together. Now from this position, you can see that the body begins to get wide and their feet begin to get wide, but as they're shifting down the mound, they're not reaching just with their front foot. They are moving their entire body forward, and at that point is when their feet are fully starting to stride out. So it's not just the feet, their entire body is moving and their leg just basically gets wide late. So going from narrow to wide, you can see how these guys have moved their body essentially halfway down the mound, so they're creating a ton of momentum, but they're not losing or compromising the integrity of that back foot in the process. So what that means is they're still staying strong while moving in the direction of their target. You can see the majority of these pitchers have this shape in their back leg where they have yet to cave in their back knee. But once they begin to drive that knee towards the ground right here, this position does not compromise their back foot still. They are still able to maintain that wide position while rotating their back foot into a more rotational position to begin to generate that force with the upper body to snap that trunk into place at the right time. So once that back knee drives down and they begin to release their upper torso to snap their body into place right here, this position with the back foot essentially does not go and become skinny. Where I see a lot of athletes mess this one up is while they are moving their torso to begin to snap towards the target here, their back leg has this tendency to be collapsing with the torso, and so their narrow stance that they had at the beginning of their throw becomes narrow at the end as well, and that's called trail leg hip flexion. So every single one of these pitchers connects their back foot to the ground and they hold tension to create that wide base to leverage against, and you can see as these guys are following through, they are able to hold that tension and they're able to hold this sensation of this Nike swoosh looking shape, and they're able to maintain a grounded lower half as they leverage their upper body against this wide base. Having a wide base gives you, one, something to throw against, but two, it allows you to activate your posterior or your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, and even your back muscles and your tricep to essentially slow your body down. So without having control over your back leg, all of the brakes of your body or the muscles that you use to slow your body down become deactivated, which ends up putting a ton of stress on your elbow to have to compensate for that lack of lower half use. So essentially, if you're not using your back leg to slow your body down, something does have to slow your body down, otherwise you will literally fall apart on the throw itself. So when you don't use your glutes and your hamstring to help slow your body down, your arm gets put at high risk of getting injured. The way I tell my athletes to control this body movement is by thinking like they're spreading out the earth as their torso begins to snap forward and their arm goes into layback. So as they're spreading the earth, they're pressing both feet apart as hard as they can, and they're using that energy that they created when they were moving their body down the mound initially to continue the upper torso and upper body movement over their front leg, so they are now throwing against this front leg and getting as much extension as possible while they follow through. And then the target goal at the end here is to see this back foot come all the way around smoothly without compromising the integrity of that strong and stable lead leg block. So if we can go from narrow to wide and maintain that wide position with your lower half while you are leveraging against your front side. That's gonna help you take stress off your arm. That's also gonna help you increase velocity. And ultimately, that's just gonna make things look a lot smoother, and it's gonna help you have a more repeatable and efficient delivery. One of my favorite drills to work on this concept is called the toe tap drill, where you start in a narrow position balanced on one foot, and then you begin to stride out and create that wider base as your body is initiating forward. And then after you let go of the ball and your back foot releases off the ground, that's when you allow your back leg to come around and go into a toe tap position, where you're working on controlling the very end of your delivery and seeing the ball hit your target in the chest. Hope that video was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you'd like to have me cover any specific topics in the future. You can always follow me at Bobby O'Neal 37. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel right here. Also be on the lookout for the next video. Take care, guys. God bless.